Welcome back to Satisfactory, guys. In today's episode, more train tracks. If you haven't had enough. Right, we're going to extend the main line around the outside. We're also going to build another power station. And what else? Oh, we really need to do the supercomputer factory. I am seriously not looking forward to this. We'll make a start on it anyway. Right, what I'm thinking of, we'll drive to this little island. We'll make this the junction point. So you go right to the computer parts factory, but the new route will be left. That'll continue the main line, the one that's eventually going to go around the island, which I'll finish in about 23 years' time. The little rocket pack that I unlocked, this is just the best thing since sliced bread. It makes doing the train line so much more easier. All I've got to do, as long as I stick a power line somewhere, I can fly around as much as I want and get the track virtually anywhere I want, really. So we're probably going to leave a little curve coming off this junction, I think. I am slightly worried about then the curve from the computer parts factory that'll carry onto the main line. It might be quite tight, so I might have to fiddle about with that later on. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, that's the first part connected up. We've got the curve now coming off the junction. Let's delete these foundations, and then we'll do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, shoot. Right, we were nearly out of range of the electricity pylon there. Oh, I nearly got my feet wet. Right, after nearly falling in the sea, I'll get my train of thought back here. Yeah, what I'm thinking of, we'll just go straight ahead at this point, and just before you get to that sort of like the mountain hillside there, we'll go right and follow it round. We could actually go straight across that mountain, because we could follow the island on the outside of the map, but there's less things to join onto there, so I'm just going to slightly do it on the inside of the island. Oh, straight lines are just so easy to do. With this little jetpack, it's a couple of minutes and you're doing a section. It's so quick now. I'm thinking back a few videos ago when we first did the route, it actually took me hours to do sections like this, but not anymore. We're motoring quite quickly now. We will slow down once we get to the curve as per usual, but it will still be quicker. Very luckily, just before the turn I want to make, there's a tiny island, and I've just managed to hit it, which is great. So now I can just line the foundations up, try and get a curve, 45 degrees-ish, should be good enough. Now we'll head towards the mountains, then do another curve. Then after that, it's going to be all curves in rises and dips and falls. That's where it's going to really slow down. Yeah, that curve's turned out really well. Managed to hit land, do another little bit of a curve, and I'm quite happy with that. We'll keep going now all the way to the part where I'm going to start building the power station. There's two coal nodes there, so I'll be able to run 48 power stations once again. We'll get another, what is it, 20 something? No, 3200 watts of power. So I've managed to do the first section of curves, two massive curves. One going right, then it's coming back now. It's actually going a lot better than I thought. Luckily, with land being so close, it's making this a lot easier. When we're over the water, it is a lot more hard to actually do the curves. So I'm thinking another slight curve, maybe? Right, I've managed to do a tiny little curve. It kind of dinks back in, keeping in line with the rocks. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This bit's been super fiddly. Getting the curve right, yeah, it's been a right pain. Just up to the right there, way up into the distance, above the mountaintops there. The power station, we're nearly level with that now. So we are slowly getting there. So we're finally at the location for the power station. That big body of water there to the left. That's where we're going to run the pumps. We'll build the power station right above this lake. And there's a coal node just down below us to the right there. And there's another one on the far left hand side. Right, rather than stop and just build the power station right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the track going till the part where we're going to actually have the supercomputer factory. Since I'm in full track building mode in my brain, I'm kind of seeing the angles here pretty good, I think. So not too much further to go. We'll hit this mountain on the left hand side, follow it around a bit, then there's a nice big gap, open space kind of. It's got 3 oil nodes on it, that's where we're going to make the plastics factory, and essentially that's the base for the supercomputer factory. And here we are, this is as far as the track's going for now. It's quite a way we've come, hasn't it? Since that little junction that goes up from the computer parts factory. So I'll tidy this all up, then we'll make a start on the power station. And here we are, back where we started today. I've done all the pylons all the way back to the track. They do look pretty good if I do say so myself. Now let's figure out, can we get this junction joined correctly? I think I'm going to have to do it in 2 sections because the track, it keeps saying nasty angles. Too tight of an angle rather. Okay, finally managed to get it done. It does drop slightly. I'm not totally happy with it. I'll live with it for now. I just need it working. I thought putting down the water extractors, it was going to be pretty straightforward. It generally is, apart from power station number 2, which was a right pain. And now power station number 3, it's trying to follow suit. When you look at this picture, there seems to be plenty of water, but the land comes in slightly. It makes it not as deep. So now I'm struggling to actually get 4 rows of 6. Definitely get that. Is this 4 rows of 6? Yes, 4 rows of 6. Currently I can get 3 rows of 6 and the very last one I can't. So now I'm trying to move them all around. I want it all to fit perfectly this time. I want no messing about. Right, these power stations better fit this time, otherwise I'm just going to pull this down and go and build them somewhere else. Literally done this 4 or 5 times now. I'm trying to get them as close as I can. Please fit, please fit. Oh, it's blue. Yes, this time. It's fitting right. 4 rows of 6. I've finally done it. To say I'm not celebrating is an understatement. When you've been messing about with this for this part of half an hour, 45 minutes, when it finally works, you're kind of relieved. Right, let's put all the poles down. We'll get the pipes in, the wires put in, and let's get the next level up. We'll start putting the power stations down. Oh, we actually might get some power done tonight. So the water extractors, they're all wired up. The pipes are ready, so let's get upstairs. I've made the 2nd floor ready for the power stations. Next, let's put down a few power stations and we'll figure out how big we need to make this level. I've done it 2 times before, you think I'd remember. But my memory's not that good, I'm afraid. Right, there's the first 12 power stations down. We'll have a gap of 2 squares and then we'll do the next 12. Well, I thought I was motoring, but then I realised I ran out of real estate and then I ran out of stuff, so I had to do a quick jump to base. 5 minutes later I'm back and we've got 24 down now. Yeah, I'll stick a power station down, figure out how much more real estate we're going to need. What I'm thinking, what, another 4 or 5 squares maybe? I'll stick some belts down on the number 1 line as well, just to get a kind of idea where everything's going to go. So the first line of power stations, they're all wired in, the pipes are in, everything's ready. The second one, I've got all the belts done. I've still got the pipes to do, and there's still plenty more to do, and we're going to put lines 3 and 4 in as well. So I'm back at base again. I keep running out of parts. I did set up this little production line inside just to make supercomputers, because I really do want to get nuclear power unlocked if I can, and we're making them actually by the bucket load. So let's get nuclear power unlocked. And fire the laser. Yeah, I'm annoying, aren't I?
Milestone reached. Uranium scanning unlocked. With the provided buildings and parts, you can now set up nuclear power generation, which balances an increase of fuel production complexity with improved power output. A new project part enables progress to the next phase. Note, this method of power generation creates nuclear waste.
So basically we're all going to glow in the dark and all our skin falls off. Yeah, I did a quick scan. Most of the uraniums, it's kind of in the centre of the map, isn't it? There is one in one of the spider caves. I've used that node before for nuclear power, and I'll probably do that one first because I definitely know where it is. Oh, leading edge production. We definitely want minor 3s. Our life will be so much easier. But it's going to be pretty hard to get them supercomputers. Oh, that is a factory and a half to build. And I've never built the other item. Yeah, I've looked into the recipe. It's aluminium, nitrogen, and heavy frames, I think. So we can make it. So I might do that factory quickly at some point as well. Right, I think I'll stop messing about at base. We'll get back to the power station. I'll go and do some work. Right, well over halfway in now. We're just going to put the belts in for the third line and the pipes. Then that one's done. Oh, we also need the power lines as well. Can't forget that. Just onto the last pipe now. Right, that should be the third line. Just about done. I do have to put the T pieces down, but the majority of it's done now. Yeah, there's one of the mines I'm going to use. I already put that down, and there's one over here as well. I probably will have to overclock them quite a bit, actually. I have found plenty of slugs on my travels on the west side of the map here. And from that I've got plenty of power shards, obviously. I'd rather not use them if I don't have to. So at minor 3s, yeah, I think it's got to be a certain massive goal on my list of things to do. And finally, the last pieces of the pipe we're going in now for the fourth line of power stations. It seems to have taken an awful long time to do. Obviously, I have ran quite a bit of stuff. So journeys back to base, they kind of just seem to add the time up. I'm wondering if it'd be worth having like two storages in the game. One, say, in the north of the map, one in the south, just so it's a bit easier. So you're not travelling like virtually. It feels like I'm travelling half the distance to the map. In reality, I actually am now. Right, this miner does 120 a minute. We'll overclock that to 240. And then the second miner here, I think it's 120 as well. Yeah, it is. We'll put 3 in that. So that'll give us, what, 540? The magic number's 760, but we're going to be well within that, I think. You know what, we've got plenty of shards to play with. Let's just get that 300 as well. So that's 600. But they're only going to feed 2 lines of power stations. More than enough. The coal should back up pretty quickly. So I'll wire these things up. We'll start getting the belts all the way back to the power stations. And we'll get these things turned on. Also, the other side of the valley is the other mine. I think it's even better. I think it's a 240. So that should be easily overclocked to like 480 or something. So I've got both lines of coal coming in now. We're just going to do these final few lots of pipes. And as you can see, the power stations, they're all starting to turn on now. So they're all fired up now. The coal is aflowing and it's looking really good, actually. So since I'm building this area, I realised on the map there's actually a car here, or a tractor rather. So it's got plenty of building supplies in, so I thought, yeah, we'll have some of that. So unfortunately, I can't try to do the smoke because you can't wear your gas mask in the tractor. So I'm going to have to drive very carefully down this little ramp. Oh, them rhino dogs, I really hate them things. They just run away. I don't know why they won't just sit there and die. Hopefully he's gone now. Let's make the ramp and we'll get to the Caterium node. So what I was thinking of, we'll put the AI factory here right on top of the Caterium node. It does make sense. Oh, bee creatures. Him, and we'll get the other lot as well. Come on, one more. And yes, all dead. So this is going to be the first steps in the supercomputer factory. What we're going to do is we're going to have a few smaller factories. We're going to do a parts factory, kind of what we did for the computer factory. So I also need an AI factory, which is Caterium and copper sheets, I think it is offhand. Oh, there's a slug over there. I must remember to pick that up. I'm currently debating the height of this factory. I'm wondering, I was going to move it by belt to the parts factory, the AI parts, but now I'm thinking, because of the distance involved, maybe delivered by trains, which means I'm going to have to raise the foundations of the factory roughly to the height of this miner, I think. So we'll put the last few ramps on here, and then we'll get to the first floor, and I'll have a look, see if it's about the right height. We're going to need plenty of space if I'm going to put a train station either under this factory or next to it somehow. Looking at the gap there to that mountain, we should have enough room for a station there, I think. Let's delete these windows, and I think I'll start putting some smelters down. The factory itself, I don't think I'll be making this too big actually. Probably 3 floors, I'm thinking. So I have the smelters on this floor, Caterium ingots from Caterium ore, goes upstairs, be made into the quick wire. Then on the 3rd floor, we'll make the AI limiters, which eventually will be turned into high-speed connectors at the supercomputer factory. Okay, there's all the smelters wired up. Now we just need the line coming from the miner. So wire this thing up and we might start making some Caterium ingots. Ooh, we've got no power. Right. I've totally forgot about that. We'll have to run a power line either from the railway line, or I could just run one from the computer parts factory. They're both about the same distance away. Later on, after I've installed the station, obviously I can just draw the power straight from the station. But for now, I want to get everything up and running, so I'll just run a temporary line. Yeah, we'll go to the parts factory, I think. The distance between the little computer parts factory and here, it's virtually nothing, but I think I killed at least half a dozen dog creatures, including that rhino dog at last. So let's get this belt put in and hopefully we'll start making Caterium ingots. Right, now that's in, let's check the smelters. Yeah, fantastic. The ore's on its way up, I think. Oh no, I've got that down the wrong way, haven't I? Right, take two, let's try this again. Yep, there we go, it's now loading and it's being made into ingots. Let's put the rest of the floor down for level 2. We'll get some stairs in and then we'll put some constructors down, I think it is. Okay, this could take quite a few. We need to make 416 units of quick wire to make 2 supercomputers per minute. Yeah, my brain's quite stuck now. Right after a quick jolt of electricity, I think 8 constructors should be enough. 60, 120, 240. At 8, that should be 480 per minute. Ka-ching! I think. Right, what I was thinking of, instead of having the factory long, because I'm going to need 8 constructors here, I'll just have 2 banks of 4. I'll just join them in the middle and hopefully this should work. Because remember, I've got to have the train station on the right hand side here, and if I went too long, I think it would make the line quite awkward. Hopefully this solution will work. So unfortunately I lost the rest of the footage because I was trying this new software out. It's just the frame rate's quite stuttery. This part here didn't turn out too bad, so I'll show you this. I needed a node for the copper to make the copper sheet, so I found this one. It's pretty close to where I'm going to build the AI factory. So voila, the mine is built and I've got the belts all the way to the copper factory. I was tempted at first to put the copper factory and the AI factory into one unit, I guess. It would have been about 5 floors. Wouldn't have been too bad, but as I was building it, yeah, I just kept them separate. Oh, we'll delete that. Bit of housekeeping there. Yep, there's all the smelters. Let's go upstairs, check out the constructors with the copper sheets. So the smelters, I just built them all to run it at max, so they can make as many ingots as you want. And the copper sheets, yep, that'll use every single ingot as well, just in case I ever want to wrap up production at the AI factory. I quite like that solution, the all join right in the middle. I might actually use that again. Ooh, bit of more housekeeping there. So the AI factory as well, I did a few upgrades here. Again, I've used the center point where all the ingots just kind of meet. I'm now running 14 smelters. That's more than enough to keep up with the quick wire production. Looks quite cool, doesn't it? And here we have the second floor with all the constructors on. Again, there's 14 constructors in the end, because some go upstairs to make the EIs and some actually go to the supercomputer factory as well. And here on the third floor, I'm running 5 assemblers here, making the AI limiters. Production could be ramped up even further. There's plenty of room for expansion. I did base it on the fact I was going to run 2 manufacturers making supercomputers, but in the end, the whole thing, it's only running 1, so it's a massive overkill factory. It can easily keep up with 1. And as per usual, we've got the old observation desk here. You can see the spiral in the background, doesn't look quite good, and there's the copper factory there. And I did manage to fit a little train station here just to the right of the factory. And the line itself, I did a little bit of a roller coaster dippy. I'm quite proud of it. It seems to suit it. Looks quite funky. And I've done all the foundations for the factory as well, and there it is, it joins onto the main line. So there's a quick tour. Now let's get back to building the parts factory. So the parts factory, it's going to be virtually opposite where the power station is. I've got a little temporary rail station there that I have been using just to go back and forth towards the power station. So the computer parts factory, it's virtually, it's going to be kind of a carbon copy of the one we built over the other side for the computer factory. So all we need is copper nodes and iron nodes and a family of bees, which is right below us. You can hear them flying about. Oh, right, let's get the gun out and kill them. Let's open the trapdoor. And there we are. There's one family already out, and I think there's another plant there as well, isn't there? The bee plants. Is that what we're going to call them? Whoa, that one nearly had my eye out there. Right, that should be the last of them. So next up, we'll delete the station, all the foundations, and we'll stick an iron mine down here. Just saw the slug down here, and to the left of us, I think that's a cave. Yeah, I'm not brave enough to go in there. What I'll do for now is I'll just stick a beacon down. It'll say, oh, there's a cave here, whatever. And then later on some point in the game, when I'm feeling a bit more braver, I'll come back and explore it. With lots of guns and bombs. So I've deleted enough of the foundations. I've managed to get the miner put down. So let's figure out how high this lift needs to be, so we can kind of start getting the belt sorted that's going to go towards the factory. But we'll be here soon. And we'll stick a miner down on the copper node. It was covered by a bee plant. Yeah, I'm thinking that name's going to stick now. The node itself is virtually right next door to the power plant, so power's not going to be a problem. The iron mine, it's just about, what, 100 yards right in front of here? So it probably is the ideal location to build the parts factory. So there's all the belts wired up, both of them, the copper and the iron, right at the base of what will be the parts factory. And at last, let's start putting the foundations down for the parts factory. I did have to clear a few bee plants, a couple of dogs, and there were some slugs here as well. So let's put the rest of the ramps in and we'll get to the first floor. Hopefully the height looks pretty good. I did stick a station under and I've got more than enough height to play with. So first floor, as per usual, let's put down the iron smelters. And that was actually pretty quick. Using the jetpack, it makes building so much easier. Just for lining things up, it just seems to save quite a few minutes. So next I'll make a start putting the copper smelters down. I won't have time to do that today because looking at the clock, yeah, the 30-minute mark, it's fast approaching. So what I'll do, I'll leave it there, guys. Next episode, we'll finish off the parts factory and then get really into the supercomputer factory. We have getting an awful lot done in this episode. We built a power station, we built the AI factory, and we have made a start on the computer parts factory. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time for some more Satisfactory. Bye for now.